Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske back with another installment of Something Old, Something New, Something Borrowed, and Something Blank. This is a series I've been doing on my channel to encourage you to give some love to your older supplies. I've got a ton of things to cover today, so stick around. That video is coming up next. So here's a look at my products that I'm using for today's video. I've got my Something Old. This is a stamp set I designed in 2018. It's called Love You Like, and you basically build a greeting like love you like a good nap, love you like a tax refund, love you. Today I'm going to do like my cat. Even though I don't have a cat, for those of you who have kept up with me over the years, you know I have a grand kitty, and so I'm going to make this card based on Franklin. So the something new that I have, there's actually two things. So this is a stamp set from Gina K Designs called Pocket Full of Sunshine. There is a kitty in here, and I thought I can handle coloring that. So that's my something new, along with this stamp set, All Occasion Flowers. These are both currently part of a kit, but what happens with Gina K products is she will release a card kit, and then the following month you can get these individually. And I will update my supply lists in a month from now, just so that if you are interested in either of those, they will be available separately. For my Something Borrowed, I'm going to use this color palette. Now, I'm not using all of them. This is from the Color Cube Volume 2. I recently picked up the Color Cubes to see if it would challenge me to try colors that I normally would not use. And so I've pulled 3 ink pads today, Oceanside and Powder to be, that's not really a powder, but it was close. And for my brown, I'm going to do Warm Cocoa from Gina K Designs. So for the Something Blank, well, I guess we'll have to stick around until the end to figure out what it is. So let's get into the project. I'm going to start out by stamping my little swatchy colors here on the panel. Let's see, I'm going to start with the bigger one. They're different designs and they're meant to go together. So I think I'm actually going to do my center one first. And again, I'm not sure how this is going to come together yet, but I'm going to just focus on these 3 colors to create a background. So we're going to go like that. And we'll start with the middle color, which is the powder. And again, I'm mixing my companies today. Oh, that actually looks a little darker than I thought it was going to look on the pad. But you know, they do dry back lightly. So we will see how this comes out. Oh, where's my little guy here? Okay. Going to let this transfer, and I want this to look splotchy. I do not want to have a perfect stamping of these because this is designed to be more of a texture. And so we're going to go there. Up top, I'm going to lay this down as well, overlapping, and then we're going to get our darker color up top. So the darker color is going to be Oceanside. Okay. Ink this up and overlap. So I don't know if it's going to come out quite as light as that. It was kind of the lightest tone that I might have had. And there is that guy there. Actually, I guess I could push it right there. Okay. Now clean up, and I'm going to use the same stamp for the brown, and then I'm just going to set it aside and let it dry because it's going to look different once it all sort of comes back together. But I do like having a little overlap, and here we'll bring in the Warm Cocoa. Again, this is not a palette I would reach for, and that's what I think is kind of cool about the Color Cube. Looks like I have something on my stamp. That it's going to make you think about things, but there's also lots of inspiration online. You can find, I mean, if you Google color combos, you're going to get all kinds of things. There we go. All right. So this part is done. I'm going to clean this up. I will set this aside, and now we're going to stamp our kitty. So I'm going to put my kitty here and stamp. I may stamp 2 kitties just so I have a backup, but because I've not used this before, I'm going to use one of my Altenew conditioning erasers. This is just to get the coating off the stamp. I've always in the past just done my finger. Both work. I got a 3-pack and they work really well. Just kind of go like that. They don't leave any residue behind. And this is only needed the first time you use a stamp. You don't have to do this, obviously, because clear stamps get more conditioned as they go. I will use Memento Tuxedo Black because I'm planning on doing some coloring, although haven't decided yet if it's going to be Copic. Maybe. We'll see. All right, so we'll just transfer our kitty. He has a nice, oh, that looks really good. Actually, let me press that right in his nose. I think I'll stamp it twice just to give it a nice inkiness. And I'll stamp one more right next to him off camera just so I have a backup. And now I'm going to stamp my Love You also here so that I think I'm going to keep this very black and white with some of the elements. So I guess I will also use my Memento here. Stamp this a few times to get it nice and inky. Beauty of the Misty, you can keep going until you get a perfectly stamped greeting. All right, time to color. Speaking of something old, I am going to color with my Prismacolor pencils today, and I'm using basically what is a alternative to Gamsol. It's called Zest It. Now, I ordered this, gosh, a couple of years ago. You can see how much I've used. It's basically a safer solution for blending. It's from England. I think if I can source it here in the States, I will, but I will put a link because it's just something to help blend colored pencils. I have some blending stumps. First, though, I am going to separate. I just want to keep my greeting away from liquids. So we'll just go like that, and I'll set that aside. And this is something that I have not done much of, but I will tell you, the one thing that appeals to me about colored pencils, and I don't know if I'm going to put pink ears in yet, is that, you know, they don't do what Copics do. And by the way, you just need a little, so maybe I'll just pour some in the cap like that, and I can pour this right back in. I don't think it. All right, there we go. Close it up, and let's give it a try. So I think what I'm gonna do, I've just picked colors that I think are going to work really well with that, right? I'm not gonna make a red heart. Why would I do that? But what I'm gonna do is we're gonna take our pencil and we're gonna go around like this. And as I was going to say, one of the things that I like about this idea of coloring with pencils is that you have a bit more control. You know, like it's not going to be going as wild and wonky as a Copic might. And it's different for me. You know, this is a fun thing to try. So sometimes in this series, I want to try something a little different. You know, I want to go and pull out some older things. So this actually has more layers of old than initially stated. Okay, and we'll get some here. And I think I will leave it lighter on the inside, right? So we'll just color around. And I think this color will work just fine. Okay, like that. Now, here goes good luck. I am going to put in my blending stump and allow some of this Zest It to soak in. See how it's starting to get a little darker? And this is just a pack of blending stumps that came in multiple sizes. So we get a little on the stump, and then here goes nothing. And then we take our color and we blend it out. gosh, that does work. Look at that. Well, I'll be darned. Okay. Okay, look at that. So what this does, it just softens that waxy, whatever they're made of, right? And allows you to blend it out. Wow, that actually looks really good for me. What do you know? Look at me. Right there, blending it like I know what I'm doing. Wow, okay. I think I'll go right into the center here. Again, just keep going over that pigment. That actually looks pretty darn good. Now, of course, I'm not going to do any heroic coloring, right? I'm not going to blend multiple colors together. Maybe a little more. But I'm definitely liking the feel of this because it's very soft. And I think this color of heart will be very nice for this project. Okay, Cathy, look at you. So I think what this does, it just gives you a little more control over what you're doing. And I think for me, that's pretty cool. Okay. I also have a little sander. I'll show you that. And this just came with it so that when it's time to get that color off, you can sand. And I hope you can't hear in the background the construction trucks that are making crazy noises. Something's going on in our neighborhood and I don't know what it is. All right, let's move on to the next color. Let me put some music on and I'm going to switch to a different side of the other stump when I'm putting the other colors on. I'm really just going to work with some warm grays. This is 20% warm gray and this is 50%. So I don't want to go too heavy with my color. I think I'm going to start with the warm gray. So we'll speed this up and put on a little music. And that is my little kitty. And that's all I think I'm going to do. Although I do have a thought. What if I took, and I will show you here, I have this dark black pen. I'm going to try it over here because Franklin does have, you know, the little, I'm not a good freehand drawer though. That's the problem. Like if I put the little things on his head, you know what I mean? Like the stripes, I could, you know, maybe I could do it in pencil first. Well, you know what? Let's just do it. What's the worst that can happen? Right? I'm doing it. So that way we're going to have just a few kitty stripes on his little head. Like that. Look at me. Something old, something new. Freehand drawing. Kind of just looks like he I think it's cute. Okay, so let me get the coordinating die to cut this out. So I got my intercut out today and I've got it set to die cut on the dial, and I've gone about -3 because when I use my heavy cardstock, which is the Nina Classic Crest in the Solar White 110, it's a heavy weight. So let's go ahead, and I've got my cutting mat down. I'm going to place this on top and we'll run it through. And of course, this machine sucks to the table, which is actually really nice. coming out the back. And I probably didn't need it to be that tight. Let's take a look. We have our little cat. Isn't that cute? He's just so little and cute. And I think that's going to look really nice with the colors, but we'll see. Now I will get the die for this. Now this die set, I will show you. There are a couple, so you can actually buy these as a word and shadow, but the shadows cut out the stamped version. So I am going to use the die that is designed to do just that. Put you over here, and I'll get this lined up and we'll run it through. Tape that into place, and again, put the mat down. Cutting mat down and the platform on top. That's just how I usually do it. And we'll run it through. And let's take a look at our greeting. Oh, that looks so good. Poke that out. This was back when I did much more cutting out of the middle of the words. So I'm actually going to cut out one more of these out of another scrap of this cardstock just so it can have a little dimension, and then we'll move on. So I'll glue two of these layers together. I've got a piece of my Tim Holtz grip mat that I cut down a very long time ago. So that's another old thing that I forgot about. So I've been using it more because I don't like to get glue onto my mat surface here. Even though it's easy to clean, it's hard to see. And so oftentimes if I'm gluing something and I'm not paying attention, then I put my hand in glue and it just becomes a disastrous mess. All right, let's slide you there, and let's put our stamped layer on top, like this. And I'll just pick that up, make sure it's lined up nicely in place, and flipping it. And then I'm gonna put my, oh, it's not quite lined up on the Y, I can see that. That's why we like our liquid glue, and press and let that adhere. So I'm going to bring in Master Layouts 2 for my layer here, and then I think I will do a black matte layer because I think it would be really cute to have. And again, I don't fully know what the design is going to be. That part I haven't quite figured out, and well, sometimes it takes a little, but I do like that right there. But I want it to say "Love you like my cat." Now, I might have to get creative with that, because I don't know yet. Oh, why can't I pick you up? I feel like come here. Come on, there we go. Because it could be cute to have the little kitty and then the little banner like my cat. Or it could be up top, "Love you." And then this could be popped right up over that like my cat. Have not decided yet. So maybe I shouldn't cut this until I do my like my cat greeting. See, I thought I would do it right on the panel, because then it could be kind of cute to be not on a strip. Let me noodle on this.
5 minutes later.
I need some dimension. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use foam squares here in key strategic locations that are taller than the cat, because I think what I'm going to end up doing is, let me show you here, and I might put more on, but I want this to be, oh, I guess I put that in the wrong place. Those have to be lower. Sometimes you don't know until you get there. I'm going to take these off. I want my greeting to float over my cat, so I'm going to come down lower here. You can cut your little foam squares in half to give you exactly what you need. And yeah, this is going to have some dimension. It's going to have some dimension. That's okay. We like a little pop-up. We just have to figure out the rest. So something old, something new, something borrowed, something dimensional. How that could work. Okay. So, oh, yeah, we need one more down there. Let's get this little guy. There we go. I like to keep it all supported because support can be beautiful. Okay, so see how now this has got some float. Little kitty, he's going to come in here. Although, you know what I think would be cute with the cat? I think it would be cute if I had a second cat. so he had a tiny bit of separation from the background. So let me do that. So that gives it just a little more separation. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to cut this yet. I'm going to set that aside. Let's put this back into the MISTI so that I can figure out the exact placement of, so Kitty's got to pop up and out of the blend a little. Love you, I want to be right about there. And then we're going to put, like my cat, okay? And then that, I just want it to be stamped right onto here. So I'm going to put it in place, make sure that the area is good to go. I'm going to stamp on a piece of acetate first, just to make sure we're straight and in the right place. I will pick this up. I want this to have a slight overlap, so let's pop you here and here. I don't think I've used the Like My Cat before, and I'm going to use my small Gina K Designs Black Onyx Cube because this one is just easier for me to see, and I like the way it stamps. Of course, we're on acetate here. That looks straight to me. I'm going to roll the dice. Here, you just wipe it off. Just wipe off the acetate. Let's add this. And I'm just going to do a couple passes so I don't smush it down too hard because this is a delicate little greeting. So tap once and just build it up slowly to get it nice and inky. 2. Now you could do it as a sentiment strip as well, like, stamp it, emboss it, etc. I just didn't want to. I just wasn't feeling that. See how that just gets very inky? Love you, like my cat. I think it's so fun. Okay, so now we'll figure out the cut for the stitched layer. We can crop it how we like it. That's why we like to cut sometimes after the fact. Get it nicely centered there. And I think I'll just tape that into place. And I'll go ahead and cut this out off camera. And then I'll also take this layer, which is the bigger layer, and cut some black cardstock. I will tape this, or add tape, and then we're going to glue it right onto my black panel. Okay. I need to set that aside so I remember to clean it. Forgive my head if it gets in. Wow, my head really got in the way there. Forgive it. I just need to see. I stand up to do this because I can't see very well if I'm sitting down, and I think if you have trouble with this placement of panels, stand up. It's not gonna hurt. Sometimes I'll go from the top like that. That probably is good. Yeah. Right? I think that looks great. All right. So now I just have to get this on a note card. And I don't think I think I will do it on white because, I'm a little off on my blue there, which I think is totally fine. It's not the end of the world. Look at how cute that is. All right, let me get my note card prepped. I'm actually going to do this on some 80 pound because I am running low on my 110 pound, but this 80 pound Nina Classic Crest works fine. I mean, it's a beautiful cardstock too. It's just not as heavy, but when I have a lot of things going on, I feel like that's probably okay that I do this. All right, go like that. And we will, let's see, does that side look good? Let me stamp on the back of this. I recently got one of these and I'm getting more used to it. I think I need to be, that looks better. Someone told me to roll it a little. Oh yeah, that looks great. Thanks for that tip. Okay. I was doing it too fast. Okay. And now I will tape you closed. And I'm trying to decide, do I want to put a little dimension on here? And the, so cute. Yeah, I'm going to put thin foam tape on the back of this, so hold tight. So I've got the Simon Says Stamp Big Mama tape. And this is nice because it is lower loft. Actually, I'm going to use this to release the hounds. It's kind of like a thin foam tape, and I love it. Okay, and now let's make sure we get this right side up. Almost did that one wrong. And we'll pop this down. Again, forgive my head here as I look down on all sides and commit. I cannot stress enough, standing up and giving yourself the bird's eye view makes a huge difference. And I do that for pretty much all the cards that I make. I kind of have to stand up or I can't really see what I'm doing. I actually wish that I had a setup where I just stood to craft, but unfortunately the desk setup that I have in my studio is basically, it was my office desk. It's a great desk, but it doesn't lift up. So, you know, never say never, but at this point, I kind of like how it all works. So probably won't change my desk anytime soon, but I do envy the stand-up crafters. Okay, we're going to put a little daub of glue on each foam square for that little bit of hydroplane float time. I don't need anything up here. I don't think, actually, you know what? Come to think of it, I should put one more on the, look at all the magnets. I should put one more on the ascender. That is the term for the top part of any letter form. I should put one on the L, just so that if it gets squished in an envelope, it will stand up. So that little part, the ascender, is protected, and this is called the descender, and that is also protected. So all we're going to do is hover you here as centered as we can till that is over. Like my cat, I will let go. It has a little wiggle room, which I love. And I think that looks good. Okay, let that adhere. And then Kitty is going to go right underneath with some liquid glue. Okay, just right on here with my Connect glue. I don't think I need tweezers to do this, but sometimes it's nice because you can just, you can knock things over, but you can also see very clearly where you are placing something. And I just wanted him to be tucked in underneath with his ears popping right out of that greeting area, and then I will just hold that in place while it adheres. Okay, I think I will add some sequins to finish this out. Let's zoom in a little, just for a little neutral shine. It's very cute. Oh, this feels good today. It feels good to have a fun little card that uses old things, you know, and I haven't done a project. Actually, I think that's, well, yeah, I'm not sure where I'm going to put the others. I haven't done a project like this in a while. And I haven't done a project with these stamps in a really long while. So again, I hope this series inspires you to look at some of your older stamps and dies, the ones you bought so long ago, the ones that you loved once and maybe you haven't come back to them. Because, you know, they're all just waiting. They're like the toys in Toy Story. They're just waiting to be played with. And that is on, well, that's on you. I don't know how I like this arrangement yet, but we'll see. You know what? What if I came over here? Sometimes it takes a minute, but I actually like this to fill in over here. No, it'll be fine. We're going to just do, what about that? Oh, yeah, that's better. I don't know how. It's just better. Okay, let's boop it up. Here we go. Old products getting some love. Okay. And boop. 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 The tone changes. Boop. And boop. And that is our finished card project for this installment of Something Old, the stamp set, right? Something New, these cute little stamps with the critters and the little things in the background from Gina K Designs. Something Borrowed, which again is that color scheme. I mean, it's not a perfect lift, but that's the thing about finding inspiration that you can borrow as a springboard, right? I didn't use all the colors. They're not a complete nail on the head match, but it gave me a cool palette to work with that I normally wouldn't work with. And of course, the something blank, something for cat lovers. I just decided that now. You can find links to all the products I used in today's video in the YouTube description box and on my blog. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you, so please hit that subscribe button and be sure to hit the notification bell so that you don't miss the next time I post. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day. To see more card projects that are part of this series on my channel, check out the 2 thumbnails I have below, and I'll see you in those videos.